Hi, so my presentation is on the Met Gala, the 2018 Met Gala. The theme of the 2018 Met Gala was Heavenly Bodies, Fashion, and the Catholic Imagination. I chose this religious artifact to highlight how pop culture fashion can be used to express forms of identity and spirituality. Personally, I am one that who loves fashion and creativity in everyday outfits and events. So this topic for me was specifically very interesting to research and part to indulge in because I normally really never have the chance to do so. So, to preface, the Met Gala, also known as the Costume Institute Gala or Met Ball, is a fundraiser for New York City's Metropolitan Museum of Art's Costume Institute. So, I wanted to give a little bit more background and show pictures of celebrities at the Met Gala, not just from 2018. And I think this gives a sense to how popular and publicized this event is because going forward, I am going to dive in on specific 2018 Met Gala themes, but I just wanted to highlight here that this is one of the most highly anticipated fashion events, really, in the fashion industry. That occurs annually, and I think it's very important to note that each year the Met Gala has a theme so that A-listers and those invited to the ball can dress as part of the theme. Another thing I wanted to mention was that there is a red carpet at the Met Gala, so I think that was important to note just because celebrities are posing in front of cameras and paparazzi to take pictures of them in their extravagant outfits so that they can be publicized and be on social media outlets. Next, I wanted to talk about what is religion and my definition of religion and how I connect that with fashion. So, first, I wanted to state that my definition of religion is a common set of beliefs and practices that provide a framework for understanding the purpose of life. So, with this in mind, I am making the claim that people use fashion as a form of spiritual expression. So, I wanted to go over some of the most popular outfits of the 2018 Met Gala, my first example being with Rihanna. So Rihanna's outfit was inspired by papal attire, which is a symbol of the Catholic Church's highest authority. And after researching, I thought that the oversized headpiece that Rihanna wear can kind of, while it does signify she is wearing she's not wearing the outfit of a pope, obviously, but she is fashionly hinting and symbolizing the Pope, but I also think that her headpiece can kind of be seen as a nod to Virgin Mary's crown as well. And I also talk about the construction of her outfit because Rihanna is she is a pop star. She is a woman of strength and awesomeness, and she is actually wearing paper mache. So I think that also gives Rihanna a sense of vulnerability in a way. Here are more pictures of her. Next, I wanted to talk about Rosie Huntington. She is a supermodel. And again, after researching, I realized that this dress's design is inspired by Greek mythology, particularly the goddess Athena. And I think the shoulder straps and the flowing train on her back um, symbolizes maybe Athena's robes or Athena's long white dress. Next, I wanted to talk about Ariana Grande. And I dive in particularly on Ariana Grande's dress because I personally think I have a very good understanding of her spiritual connection and journey with herself and how she dresses herself here. So, to preface, um, Ariana Grande is Ariana Grande's outfit is depicting the second coming of Christ, which is described in the New Testament. So this scene shows Jesus Christ surrounded by angels descending from heaven to judge all of humanity. Michelangelo's The Last Judgment is painted on the wall of the Sistine Chapel in the Vatican City. And I think because Michelangelo depicts Christ as a powerful figure, it can be inferred that Michelangelo obviously emphasizes the importance of faith in Christ. And I also wanted to add that growing up, I had always been so fascinated and interested how fashion can be a way to tell a story. And I think here that is exactly what fashion does. I think Ariana Grande's outfit possibly could have told a story for herself. So I think that this dress is a symbol for her own personal spiritual connection and journey. And why I think that is because Ariana, this 2018 Met Gala outfit is Ariana Grande's first red carpet since a really tragic incident that happened in 2017 in Manchester, England, where 23 people passed away after a suicide bomber attacked inside Ariana Grande's arena following her performance. So, since this attack, Ariana Grande has devoted herself to a lot of charitable causes. So, I believe that Ariana Grande was really able to connect with the spirituality of this event's theme. And I also think what supports Ariana Grande's use of fashion as a form of spiritual expression is the concept that Ariana Grande has charisma. Um, Max Weber famously defined charisma as the certain quality of an individual personality by virtue of which he is set apart from ordinary men and treated as endowed with supernatural, superhuman, or at least specifically exceptional powers and qualities. And I think because Ariana Grande was able to take her personal experiences and and build an outfit and exhibit charisma as she wears her Last Judgment dress is really inspiring and I think really touching and really fits with what I'm trying to say throughout this presentation. Um, so next, I wanted to include my first scholar that I talk about is Anastasia Pantia, and she is a future art critic. She studies higher level arts, and she claims that she is motivated to perform this TED Talk as she wishes to bring the public's attention to the concept of personal expression and to make a positive change.
There is nothing limiting creativity, and sometimes the most unexpected concepts and ideas can be manifest. We are the ones changing this world every day, and when this power is used passionately and for the greater good, it could be scary effective. Bring any fashion trend back, create a new one, experiment, do it for yourself. Have all the fun you want, and most importantly, believe in yourself, and then others will believe as well.
Realize that creativity is obviously unlimited, and sometimes the most innovative concepts can arise, which leads me to believe that Anastasia believes in pushing artists' boundaries and wants them to explore new styles in order to reconnect with themselves or other people. And I made this collage of images because I wanted to connect Anastasia's thoughts back to the Met Gala because I think Anastasia would 100% support Ariana Grande's dress because Anastasia would not feel that this is just a beautiful outfit, but also a symbol of her spiritual connection or journey. And I would also say that Anastasia would love how Ariana Grande dressed to tell a story and convey a message, and is not only just representing and showing appreciation to her beautiful dress, but also using her platform specifically to explore themes of spirituality and faith. So the next scholarly critic I researched on was a reporter on fashion who claims fashion is a nonverbal communication that can represent one's political and religious beliefs, gender identity, occupation, and essence. I wanted to specifically talk about the power of fashion. In this case, the critic I just quoted, Alicia Hall, also states whether intentional or not, the way that you dress can send a message to others about how you view yourself and how you want to be seen. So, personally, I think this is really interesting because through research, I have found a tremendous amount of critics pretty much saying the same thing about how much power fashion holds and how fashion can influence whatever you want it to influence. And I think that this is specifically interesting because I viewed the Met Gala as religion. So, in other words, my um, my argument is that this Met Gala is pop culture as religion. And I thought of this because of the way fashion serves as a way to represent religion in multiple different ways. I think, like I said before, fashion can be anything you want it to be. In fact, I think this example I have here is really interesting because I never realized that my friends, people I know, family members, all have cross necklaces that quite literally is a physical artifact that is pop culture as religion, because we are quite literally wearing a cross on our neck, which is a necklace as Christianity, which I think is really cool because I have never put two and two together and realized how much pop culture and religion are intertwined. And I did a lot of research on the same topic, and I believe that my line of research can totally be continued because I think that scholars can examine different types of religion with fashion. I only focused on the branch of Christianity and the Catholic imagination. So I think that going forward, scholars can research how other people choose to represent their religions in the way they dress. I also think that in a technological way, scholars are going to be able to continue this research because social media allows people to follow trends very easily. So I think that like influencers and bloggers and or designers can use social media outlets to spread and learn about fashion. So another scholar that I did a lot of research on, um, it was in the book Religion in Vogue. This author is extremely credible in which she writes about Christianity and fashion in America. And she believes that actually there are a lot of gaps in current academic research on fashion as a form of spiritual expression, particularly when it comes to Christianity. I thought this was really interesting because I think if some people believe that there are gaps in how fashion um, influences spiritual expression, vice versa, that there is a lot of research to still do, and that this research is essentially not finished. So I included a couple of quotes from her book, Religion in Vogue, to basically convey the message that there is so much work that we can study on fashion and religion and the intertwinement of the two, and how we can advance this and study this in the future, especially in a fashionable, popular world that we live in today. And I also wanted to touch on the fact that I think Max Weber would totally counterpoint my idea that fashion is a religion and people use fashion for spiritual expression. So I know that Max Weber looks at the world religions that are only based on texts. So I thought this was really interesting to include because personally, I feel like you can argue for entry points as to what is a religion, which leads me to my final point, that I think religion can truly be what you make of it, as long as there is a common set of beliefs and practices that provide a framework for understanding the purpose of life. And I would just say throughout this presentation, I've learned a lot about myself, and also I feel like I have learned a lot in a way about celebrities and their connection with religion, specifically Christianity. And I think topics like these are very debatable and are what you make of it. So I'm was really interested in my findings throughout this presentation and really enjoyed it.